Now the next test is the test for the functional group. Now that functional group is alcohol. This one is the alcohol. Now there are various tests to identify the presence of alcohol. So let us do the test one by one. So the first test for the alcoholic group, we know that when the aliphatic hydrocarbon, in the aliphatic hydrocarbon, the OH group is attached with that aliphatic hydrocarbon. So that is that belongs to the family alcohol. So OH, the representation of the symbol for the alcohol is the OH. Now the first test for the alcohol is sodium metal test. This is the functional group test. We are doing the functional group test for the alcohol, and the first test for the alcohol is sodium metal test. Now we have two test tubes. This is test tube A and this one is test tube B. This is a funnel in which the filter paper is attached. So in the test tube A we have sample to identify whether the alcohol is present or not in the given sample. So first of all, now we have some calcium sulfate anhydrous. In a china dish we have, in a petri dish we have the calcium sulfate anhydrous. Now take a spatula of calcium sulfate anhydrous and mix it with the given sample. Now here we are using the calcium sulfate anhydrous to absorb the extra moisture. It is used to absorb the extra moisture which is present in with this sample. Now shake the test tube A where the sample is present, as well as we have added the calcium sulfate anhydrous. Now pour this sample, that is the sample, here in the test tube B. Now we pour the sample from test tube A to test tube B with the help of funnel. Now this is our primary or the first step. Now in the next step, this is the forceps, this one is the beaker, and this is a bottle in which the sodium metal is present. This bottle contains the sodium metal. We all know very well that sodium is always kept in a kerosene bottle. It is not kept with the water bottle. It is always kept with the kerosene. Now take the forceps, take a piece of sodium metal and place it here in the filter paper. Now we have two filter paper. Now use this filter paper to absorb the moisture from the sodium metal. Now again take this forceps, this metal, and keep it inside the test tube. Now see what happened. The effervescence come. Here effervescence come, and this effervescence with the evolution of hydrogen gas. This is called the effervescence. These bubbles or with the gas is called the effervescence. Now what exactly happen? Alcohol react with active metal like sodium or potassium to produce effervescence with the evolution of hydrogen gas, and these effervescence are due to the liberation of the hydrogen gas. So this test is known as sodium metal test, and if the effervescence is present, it means it is the inference, or it is the observation for the presence of the alcoholic group. So this is the first test to distinguish or to find out the alcoholic group, presence of alcoholic group. Now the second test is known as the ester test. The second test is known as the ester test. Now it is clear from the name that we all know very well that ester is a sweet smelling. Ester possesses sweet smell. If there will be a formation of ester, so definitely there will be a fragrance, that is a sweet smelling, and the ester smell is a fruity smell. Ester smell is a fruity smell. Now we have a sample of alcohol. Now this is the sample. So let us check whether the sample contain the alcohol or not. We have two reagent bottles. Here in first reagent bottle we have glacial acetic acid, and in the second reagent bottle we have the concentrated sulfuric acid. Now take a dropper, put few drops of glacial acetic acid in the sample. Now take again another dropper. With the help of this dropper, take few drops of concentrated sulfuric acid and mix it with the sample. Now in the next step, place this test tube which contain the sample in the water bath. Heat it for the 10 minutes. Now take it from here and pour it in the cold water. Now we get a smell, a fruity smell. It means there will be a formation of ester. There will be a formation of ester. That's why we observe we smell a fruity fragrance. And what exactly happens? What happens when alcohol react with carboxylic acid in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid? Now the carboxylic acid, here the carboxylic acid is, functional group is carboxylic acid, means we are talking about the glacial acetic acid. So when the alcohol react with the carboxylic acid in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid to form a fruity smell, to form a fruity smelling compound called ester, and we all know very well when the ester will be there, it means C double bond O, that is COO group is present to show the formation of ester. Now this is the ester test, is the second test for the presence of the alcohol. Now to identify the alcohol, the third test is known as the cetic ammonium nitrate test. The test is cetic ammonium nitrate test. Now we have a sample and we have a reagent bottle in which we kept the cetic ammonium nitrate. So first of all I will let you know the formula for the cetic ammonium nitrate, that is NH4 whole 2. Cetic ammonium nitrate, the formula of the cetic ammonium nitrate is NH4 whole 2 CeNO3 whole 6, that is cetic ammonium nitrate, and the color of the cetic ammonium nitrate is yellow. Now in this test, take few drops of cetic ammonium nitrate and put it inside the sample. Now what happened? The pink the red color is appear. The red color is appear, which shows that, or which prove that alcoholic group is present in this sample, or this sample is of alcohol. This sample is of alcohol. Now take it and shake it. Now look at here. There will be no change in the color. The color remain same, that is red. So what happens when the alcohol on reaction with cetic ammonium nitrate, it gives a red color. It gives a red color due to the formation of alkoxycerium complex. Due to the formation of alkoxycerium complex, which is red in color. The alkoxycerium complex is red in color. So here the alkoxycerium complex is formed, which gives the red color to the sample, and we also have the another colorless substance here, that is the ammonium nitrate, that is NH4NO2. But our observation is this one only. This is the main point, that is the color changes from the color of the sample, which is the colorless. Now it become red in color because of the presence of cetic, that is cetic complex, alkoxyceric complex. Now the fourth one is, that is the iodoform test. Now the fourth test to identify the alcohol is the iodoform test. Now for that test we have a sample of, we have a test tube in which the sample is placed. We have this test tube. Now we have 2 reagent bottle which is necessary for the test, required for the test. The first contain the iodine solution and the second one contain the dilute sodium hydroxide solution. The formula for the sodium hydroxide is NaOH. NaOH. Now what happens? First of all, take a dropper of iodine solution and place some drop of the iodine in the sample. Now then take another dropper of the sodium hydroxide and put few drops of sodium hydroxide in the sample. Now put few drops of sodium hydroxide in the sample. Now we have completed the first step. Now in the next step, take this sample inside the water bath. This is the water bath, and heat it for 10 minutes. Now what happened? We get the yellow precipitate. We get the yellow precipitate, and yellow precipitate prove the presence of the alcoholic group. The yellow precipitate prove the presence of the alcoholic group. Now why the yellow precipitate arise, or why the yellow precipitate form? Actually this test is given by alcohol containing CH3CH2OH, means ethanol. We are talking about the ethanol group. When alcohol is warmed with NaOH solution and the iodine, because in the previous step the iodine and the NaOH, we mixes the iodine solution as well as NaOH solution with the sample. So when the alcohol is warmed with the NaOH and iodine, a yellow PPT of iodoform is prepared. A yellow PPT of iodoform is formed. Now this yellow PPT is due to the formation of the iodoform. Now in this case what happened? When ethanol, that is CH3CH2OH, this is the formula for the ethanol, is mixed with I2. I2 stand for the iodine plus NaOH, and in the second step we heat the mixture with the help of the water bath. So what happened? So as a result of it we get CHI3, and CHI3 is iodoform. CHI3 is iodoform. So because of the formation of the iodoform, that yellow PPT is formed. So these are the important tests to identify the alcohols.